Someone online was asking about an interesting question about this word, one of the names of God, Elohim in Hebrew. And I pointed out that you have to be really careful with this name, with this title, because the Torah is completely precise. Every single letter is conveying information. So let me show you how precise and how statistically sound and just remarkable the Torah can be when it comes to numbers, gematria, and statistics in regards to this name. So we can see here that it has the value 86, and you'll find it in the Torah, so the 5 books of Moses, exactly 228 times in this form. 228 is a very remarkable stat in the Torah, and I'll show you why. So you can find it 228 times, and I happen to just remember from the past that the value 228, which I've made here, exists in the Torah, in the 5 books, 228 times. It's the only example in the 5 books where the gematria, so the number value of the word, or a number value, this number value 228 can be found exactly 228 times. It's the only example I've ever found where the two match in the Torah. I have found it one other time in the Tanakh, the entire Hebrew Bible, but you can see that this is an interesting value, statistically and in gematria. And actually, the first just plain word with the value 228 that you'll find in the Torah is Baruch, so blessed be or blessed, which kind of even lends to this idea that it's special in some way. So you can see here, Baruch Hashem, blessed is God. Now, Ha Elohim is something completely different, and you'll only find it in the Torah 57 times. So you can see here there's the Hey in front of it. Everybody misses that. So I'll show you quickly. The first example of Elohim is, of course, in Genesis 1:1. And then you'll see it in 1:2 and throughout Genesis. You can see here in practically every verse, especially early on. You can see it many, many times here. But then, when you get to Ha Elohim, you find it first in Genesis 5:22 in regards to Enoch. You'll remember this, and here you see Enoch being the father of Methuselah. So this Ha Elohim shows up first in regards to Enoch walking. I'm sure you've heard this translation, Enoch walked with God. I'm not entirely sure that that's correct. It really, this is more like he walked with the elites. He walked with the judges. So he was what they're saying there is he was a law-abiding, maybe even an expert in the law. So it's an entirely different thing. And then you see it again in regards to the Nephilim here and the B'nai, so the children, B'nai Ha Elohim. And everybody pronounces this or reads it as Elohim, and it's just not correct. So, and then you'll see that Noah also walked with these, what I would say is more likely, judges. So you can see here, Noah was a Sadiq, a perfect Sadiq, and he walked with Ha Elohim. So he walked with the same people that Enoch walked with. So Ha Elohim in the entire Hebrew Bible, you can find the word 366 times. You could find Elohim 680 times. So what's interesting about this is Ha Elohim. So we said it's connected to Enoch here. It's the first time you find it. 366 times in the entire Hebrew Bible. A massive text. Let's look up the number 366. And actually, it only comes up one time in the entire Sepharia site. Let's see what shows up. 366, we said, is connected to Enoch here, Hanuk. Let's see where this link leads. Actually, let's read this. He copied all accurately, and he wrote 366 books. Who are they speaking of here? The ascension of Enoch. Hanuk, Enoch. So you can see, even in the sources, we have Ha Elohim connected to Hanuk, Enoch here, and in the sources, 366 is connected to Enoch. So what does that mean? That the sages were counters. They were also obsessed with Torah statistics, and it's like a dimension of Torah study that just isn't being done today for some reason. The average Jew today doesn't follow, for some reason, the methodology of the sages. But this isn't the first time I've run across this type of thing. If you take Hashem, God of Israel, it has the value 613, and everybody knows that there are 613 divine laws or commandments or mitzvot in the Torah. 613 is the exact number of mitzvot in the Torah. It just happens to be the exact gematria of Hashem, God of Israel. If you want to get access to Hashem, God of Israel, the best way to do it is, of course, to keep the 613 mitzvot. And 613 also happens to be the value of Et Haor, which is the light, the creation of light. So 613 is connected to 1001. You can find the value 613 in the entire Hebrew Bible exactly 1001 times. Check this out. Rambam, Maimonides, says in his introduction to the Mishnah, rather, if there are 1,000 prophets, all of them like Eliyahu and Elisha, following one reasoning, and 1,001 sages following the opposite of that reasoning, we lean towards the many. Now listen to this. And the law, the Torah, the 613 laws, or the 613 mitzvot, which is what he's speaking of here, and the law is like the words of the 1,001 sages, not like the words of the 1,000 glorious prophets. Now, do you think Rambam, the expert in the 613, maybe somehow knew exactly how many times this value, the most important value in the whole of Judaism, do you think he knew back when there was no computers exactly how many times it shows up in the entire Hebrew Bible? If anyone would have known, it would have been him.